I provide technical assistance to state government in organizing the Pulse Polio campaigns. In Karnataka alone, nearly 75 lakh children are immunized during Pulse Polio, and this is part of the national endeavour where nearly 170 million children are immunized during nationwide Pulse Polio campaigns. Our primary work centers on acute flaccid paralysis surveillance. To put in a nutshell what it is in the absence of polio, there are some other neurological conditions for which children do suffer from paralysis. It's extremely important that every such case is reported, investigated and documented, and then the samples tested to see if this was due to polio. Now we have been getting cases from all the hospitals in Bangalore, and those samples that are tested are negative for polio. Now that the country is polio free, we don't want polio to ever to come back to India. The individual customers need tracking. Our experience in polio shows that the systems really work. The moment a child is born, we keep tracking the newborn child for completion of the immunization. Now I'm just giving you an analogy. For other healthcare entrepreneurs, this is an example, and tracking isn't easy. People don't track their own progress. Somebody needs to track where this child is or where this person is, where they have moved. So this is one area. Similarly, WHO, under the WHO guidelines, there are many national programs that are currently being run by the Government of India and the state governments. Now, every program needs monitoring, particularly immunization, because it needs to reach every household, every pregnant woman, every child needs to be followed up. So here the tracking of every completion of whatever was supposed to happen is very important. This may apply to other diseases like even tuberculosis, where completion of the treatment is very important. So now there is a new emerging scenario like the non-communicable diseases. Here again it's because of the people's ignorance. I think if they are given some set targets and if those are tracked, that will be very helpful. And a person may find that he is living a fuller life, a more healthy life, and better protected life. So I think healthcare providers, the mobile developers, application developers should be focusing on these areas. The entrepreneurs, the developers should work in close collaboration with governments, with NGOs, with activists in the field to understand what the society's needs are. I think that's the key, and polio has taught this importance of working together, importance of being accountable for what you do. I think the developers should look at, rather than developing a standalone product which will have some value, but if you are seeing a larger, if you are looking at a longer distance on the horizon, if you are seeing a larger market, I think we need to be working closely, understanding one another, and then that way we'll take our country forward.